Hello and welcome to part 2 of Can an Idiot Beat INFERNUM mode. Last episode we were able to conquer the wall of flesh, transitioning the world into hard mode. Now that it's hard mode, everything will be way more difficult, meaning I'm gonna be in for a rough time. What is this? Stop! No! What? In this episode we are aiming to defeat the Moonlord and transition into the post-moonlord phase. Will I succeed or will I quit and cry in a corner? Only one way to find out. If you haven't seen part 1, be sure to check that out before watching this video. The link will be in the description. With that out of the way, let's hop straight into the video. My first order of business was to gear up, because with the plethora of bosses ahead of me, I needed as much gear as I could get my hands on. So I headed over to the underground Hallow to farm Souls of Light, where after a bit of grinding, the night was apparently going to be terrible. It's going to be a terrible night? Are you serious? This is my first night, by the way, so I'm heavily undergeared for this fight, but I quickly make as much gear as I can and head over to my arena to gauge how difficult this fight will be. Oh my, hi. Yeah, this is not gonna go very well at all. I have no gear, man. What is your problem? No. This is not good. What is this? Stop. No. What? Yeah, that was the whole fight. Unsurprisingly, I needed way better gear before attempting the twins again, so I headed back to grind for souls and got some palladium armor on the way as well. Using these souls, I was able to craft the ancient Master's map of the Lost King's ancestors, revealing the entire map. With that, I was able to easily locate the shimmer for switching my mage emblem into a melee emblem and getting a vital crystal to boost health regen. But apparently I can't catch a break because now pirates are invading. Yay! Why? I probably dealt with them and absolutely shredded the Flying Dutchman. Just absolutely shreds it, damn. Goodbye, Flying Dutchman. With my new gear and accessories, I still needed a weapon to complete my arsenal, as the Bladecrest Oath Sword was not doing too hot anymore. The weapon in mind was the Celestial Claymore, dropped from Biome Mimics. I also needed the Flesh Knuckles drop from the Crimson Mimic, so I decided to fight a Corruption Mimic to unlock the summon for the Crimson Mimic in the Deviant's shop. Luckily, the Corruption Mimic dropped the Celestial Claymore, which dealt a lot of damage. Basically, what this weapon does is every swing, it summons these stars that explode, dealing tons of damage. Pretty cool. This weapon took out the Crimson Mimics with ease, and eventually I got the Flesh Knuckles, allowing me to craft the Berserker's Glove, boosting attack speed, knockback, and weapon size. Next on the list was to acquire some new wings, namely the Fairy Wings, crafted with 99 pixie dust and 20 souls of flight. I didn't want to grind for the pixie dust, so I just bought it all from the Alchemist NPC with all this money that I got from intense grinding. After buying the pixie dust and slaying an unsuspecting wyvern, I was able to craft some fairy wings. I also decided to try and obtain the Storm Saber as it had homing projectiles, and we all know how useful homing projectiles are. So I conjured up a storm all by myself and defeated some cloud elementals up in space. On the first kill, I got the drop and quickly realized it didn't do as much damage as the Celestial Claymore, but it's still useful for longer range fights. I was almost ready to attempt the twins again. Just needed to do some quick reforging. I decided to craft all 3 mech boss summons and try all 3 to see which of the 3 was the easiest. As it turned out, the twins were definitely the easiest. This is going really well so far. Yes. Oop. Ouchies. Okay. So I shifted focus onto defeating the twins the very next night. Okie dokie. It's time to fight the Eye of Cthulhu, but mechanical. Alright, here we go. The first 2 fights went pretty well. The second one ended up nearly defeating the twins, but I died on the very last phase. Did I win? No, I didn't win. I did not win. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Nope, 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 nope. No. I did not win! I knew I could beat them, so I headed to bed to skip the day and try again the next night. Attack, bro. Yes! Yes! No way. And voila, the twins were down, and the world had been blessed with orichalcum and mithril, the tier 2 hard mode ores. Next, I went and gathered enough ore for a full set of mithril armor and a mithril anvil, tweaked my accessories a little, and went and grinded for a light and dark shard to craft the Dow of Pow, an extremely powerful mace. Once I had gathered all this, it was time to face the Destroyer, the second mech boss of the playthrough. Frankly, I was very scared of this guy because he absolutely annihilated me earlier, but my first attempt went pretty well, except for the fact I have no idea how to use a mace. It feels really janky to use. When you get a good hit, it does do a huge burst of damage, enough to get the Destroyer pretty low before I died. However, it seems I couldn't replicate the success I had gotten during my first attempt, because as I kept trying, I seemed to be getting worse. I decided that this weapon wasn't good enough, and went and fought Cryogen for the Avalanche, an incredible weapon against worm bosses. After opening around 10 loot bags for a 1 in 3 chance to get the Avalanche, I finally got my hands on it, and promptly tried it on the boss. But to my surprise, it seemed to do absolutely nothing. Turns out, the cooler item visual effect mod somehow disables this weapon's ability to spawn the ice bombs that make it such an effective weapon. So I decided to turn off this mod just in case there were other weapons that it affected as well. Now that the weapon actually worked, I absolutely destroyed the Destroyer. Two of 3 mech bosses down. Now only Skeletron Prime remains. I head to the ice biome to gather cryonic ore so that I can craft Daedalus armor, shardlight wings, and the ornate shield, as well as a new weapon, the Darklight Greatsword. With this newly equipped gear, I took on Skeletron Prime, once again, taking him down on my first try. Yay! Ow. What? What? Huh? With all 3 mech bosses now defeated, I had access to a lot of new things, so I went on a quest to get better gear yet again. I gathered chlorophyte and a few life fruit from the underground jungle, changed my Terraspark boots into angel treads, and crafted the biome blade and the light disc. I was ready for the next boss, the forgotten shadow of Calamitas. Many attempts later, I hadn't gotten anywhere. I found the attacks too hard and unpredictable, and I didn't do enough damage. Something needed to change. I headed back to the underground jungle to finish maxing out my health with life fruit and a blood orange, and then I tried again. No. I figured it was time to look at what potions I was missing, even though I was sure I had most of the good ones. And sure enough, I was missing Life Force and Wrath potions, decreasing my chances of winning significantly. I also ended up switching my Warrior's Emblem for an Ankh Shield for the extra defense and knockback resistance, as I'm sure that knockback is screwing me over as well. A couple attempts went by and I was getting closer. Using the Light Disc for the main phases and the Celestial Claymore for the Brothers phase, I was able to take her down. Since I had now obtained the Broken Hero Sword, I was able to craft the Arc of Ancients, which was a huge damage boost. With no more obvious upgrades to make before fighting Plantera, I headed over to the underground jungle and prepared an arena. Although the arena was not ideal, I surprisingly got pretty close to defeating Plantera. Ow. With just a few adjustments to the arena, and actually making use of the parry ability on my sword, I took Plantera down. Yes! Yes! Now that Plantera is gone, I now have access to many new things, including including ectoplasm from the dungeon and Mothron wings from the solar eclipse event. After some long-winded grinding, I finally had my setup ready for the Golem fight, starring the Blighted Cleaver, an insane weapon that acts quite similarly to the Bladecrest Oath Sword, with its homing spinny projectiles. I went to the temple to summon Golem, but obviously, I had to make an arena first, otherwise I would definitely die. There, that's better. Okay, time to summon the Golem. Oh, my arena broke? How rude! Turns out the INFERNUM Golem fight doesn't allow the use of an arena. Great. To be honest, this fight wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be, and I ended up taking Golem down within 3 attempts. Not too shabby. Now, Scoria Ore had been unlocked. And after gathering some scoria up and crafting armors and wings, I decided I wanted a new accessory, the community. This accessory is not like any other accessories. The more bosses you defeat, the more it buffs you, making it invaluable for the late stages of the game. All I had to do was defeat Leviathan and Anahita and hopefully get the community to drop from them. So I headed over to the beach to kill a strange being underwater, spawning in the boss. It only took a couple attempts and a large piece of my sanity to beat this boss, allowing me to buy the loot bag from the operator NPC, eventually giving me what I wanted, the community. With this accessory and my other upgraded weapons and accessories, I decided to kill some early game bosses I had skipped to buff myself even more, and then skip all the way to the Lunatic Cultists. After killing the cultists in the dungeon entrance, out came Mr. Lunatic Cultist, ready to zap me with all his zappy abilities. Alright. He killed me very quickly. I decided that I would try out beetle armor and wings instead of hydrothermic armor and wings and see how I went. I tried again a few times and got a little bit closer, but I still severely lacked the ability to dodge the super speedy homing projectiles I was getting bombarded by. I needed Fishron wings, meaning I had to kill Duke Fishron. I was not looking forward to this fight because in my experience I knew Duke Fishron would be really difficult. However, today was not Mr. Duke's day, apparently, because I took him out first try with almost 0 difficulty. First try? Alright. Huh. So much for INFERNUM being hard. Now it was time for the Lunatic Cultists. I was so close, yet so far. The Lunatic Cultists were down, and the Celestial Pillars were invading. Wasting no time, I began taking down the pillars one by one, only dying a few dozen times. What's food, my breath? It was now time to fight the last boss of hard mode, the Moonlord. Bring it on, buddy! Oh, what? What? That's very useful. Bring it on, buddy! This boss was insane. I couldn't seem to dodge any of its attacks. My confidence was beginning to dwindle. What if I couldn't beat this boss? What if this was all a waste of time? No, it can't be. It's time to bring out the big guns. Now try to kill me, Moonlord! Do it. I can finish hard mode off. I will do it. Party stabs! I would like to not do that. Yes! They win. Yes! What is this goo? Why is there goo everywhere? Oh, it's gone. Good. And that brings us to the end of hard mode, and sadly, the end of the episode. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like and comment any suggestions or feedback you might have. Thanks guys, I'll see you in the next one. See ya! Oh, and like for part 3.